spoke to Emile last week, and he said this was before the Newcastle game. Good start, solid start. Please, maybe 7 out of 10. I wondered how you would rate Fulham's first few games and first part of the season out of 10.
Performance-wise, I think we have been growing as a team. Definitely, I think game by game you are seeing the team getting better. I think the time plays in our favor, if I can say that. When we change so many players, some important players left our football club. We signed some very good players too, and of course, we need time. All the teams, they need time to gel everything, to create relations and connection between players, and for them to understand our identity, our philosophy as well. Even if some of them they have the enough experience and knowledge about Premier League, is always different club to club. I was saying, growing as in performance point of view, definitely we should have achieved more points in some games. Definitely the game against West Ham, even the first game against Man United too. But that's football. That is Premier League. You have to be always on your best level to achieve the points and to get the points that we want. Overall, solid or decent start or good start. You can use the word you think that is better. For me, the main thing that how we have been performing, how we have been getting better. The last 2 home games, Premier League 2 home games, they were at very, very good level. The way you did command the game, and the way you were better than both teams, West Ham and Newcastle, clearly, and that is a good sign for us. But that's it, just 3 points last game against Newcastle. I know that everybody was happy and pleased the way you played and the way we deserve clearly the 3 points. But for us, of course, it's true, but just 3 points for us, we have to go again.
It was interesting because he said the biggest difference for him this season from where you were last season is a real kind of shift in culture and a shift in mentality, and the idea that you've obviously brought a lot of players in, but those have kind of pushed the levels up. And actually he was openly talking about wanting to qualify for Europe. So where's that kind of shift in culture and pushing more, not being so comfortable?
Talking about Rowe, yeah, again. Rowe.
Don't get me in trouble though.
It's good to hear that. I didn't have this conversation particularly with him. It's something that we have overall. But this, for me, is important. The players they feel that the enough is not good for us. We don't like that word. Of course, Premier League is so tough. It's the most difficult competition in the world, the best one and the most difficult one. And you have to demand always more from you yourself and myself as a manager. I know the players. They know the way we work every single day, the way I push them, the way I demand from them. At the same time, the way I'm the guy that support more themselves too. But in football, you just can win if you are always there, working the limits, working there really on the top. Because after you are going to face always very good sides. And believe me, if you have to push for something more, we are going to push. But the reality, and we have to be realistic, we have to look for the next game as the most important one, and it's there that we have to show our quality. Not here in the press conference, not during the week. We have to show our quality on a match day every single weekend. That is the main thing for us. Clear, and we don't hide ourselves. We want to do better than last season. That is definitely what we want to do as a club. Even if some important names in this football club last few seasons they left our football club. As he said, we signed very good players too, and now is a moment for us to rebuild again. It's being my story in this football club the last few seasons, losing important players, rebuild again, and we are going to do again the situation. Sometimes it's important to see that the platform, the base that we have already inside our football club gives us a chance to, even if you change some important players, the others that they come in, they can settle quicker in our football club.
And one of those is Emile Rowe. You clearly knew he was good. Has he surprised you with just how good he is? And I'm really interested about his role away from just playing, because he's been at a club where the standards and the demands are so high. He's competing with £100 million players. That has to have an influence on what he's doing day in, day out.
Top lad. This is the first thing that I want to say about him. For me, and I push really our board and our football club to sign him. It's clear since we felt last April, May, probably May, and that was a little bit. The window was a little bit open for him to probably to leave the club, or they were open to listen some offers. We started in that moment to try to be strong in that target, and to be honest, for that position was the only one. Was that player that we wanted? Let's do our best to get him in. Fantastic for me when I heard from him first time the desire that he got to come for our football club. Okay, he took first the decision to look for a new chapter in his career, and of course the meetings that we had, and when I explained him what is our philosophy, what we want, the way you played, I felt from the first moment that the desire was there, clear, to come and to join our football club and to be part of the process that he really talked, and that is a good project for him, the way he played football as well the last few seasons. And of course, after comes his talent, as you said, he's a really talented player, different than what we had last few seasons in that position. Of course, we have been playing more the last 2 seasons, the first season more with Fábio Carvalho, and after with Andrés Pereira in that role. And Andrés can play in the different roles in that area, and of course we wanted to add a little bit a different player for that position, a little bit a player that can arrive in the box, can score more goals, can make things that we need in that situation. At the same time, to have Andrés in other positions of the pitch too. And Emile has got everything, to be honest, in that position. Didn't play enough the last 2 years. It's always tough when a young player doesn't play. Of course, the competition there is really tough, and all of us we know. Not enough minutes, and of course, I think much more to come from him, definitely. He's a shy, in a good way, I have to say. What I want is to express himself on the pitch, and what he's doing. Good impact in ourselves, in our football clubs. From the pre-season, the first games, even pre-season, we felt it. Personally, I think that is in a much better position right now in terms of shape, understanding of what we want. Much more complete midfielder right now, on and off the ball, and just 5 games. I know, just the first 2 months, but still big room to improve. But we are going to see much more things and good things from him, definitely.
We saw in his goal how Iwobi and the movement as well of Traore. They seem to have upped their level. Is it a coincidence, playing alongside him? And with Traore particularly, there has always been so much promise about him, but maybe not the end product and not the consistency. What we've seen over the opening few weeks of the season, you look to have got that out of him. How have you done that?
Just working with him to give. He's a player. He's a particular one. He needs. Always a little bit love around him, and he's probably more egg than other things too. The main reason, to be honest, and the main reason for this biggest difference from one season to the other, I cannot speak about his past in other clubs, but from last season to this season, I think the last season he didn't have a pre-season. Clear, he came last days of the market without a pre-season. He did work in his own, and of course when he came. The impact here, the training sessions, he got a bad injury that put him out probably 3-4 months. This season different from the day one of the pre-season. He did work hard with the squad, pre-season matches as well for him. All that stuff that is important to the pre-season, and of course started really well the pre-season. He got his space in the team, and he's performing well. He's being decisive. One of the things that we have been working with him definitely is about consistency, because it's really important in Adama to be always on the game. Because if he's always on, he can make an impact in many different ways. He's always a threat for the opposition sides. We all know that. And as you mentioned, the end product should be a key part in his game, because a player that, not just for him, for all the wingers, all the forward players, offensive midfielders, the end product is crucial, because if you want to give that step forward, you have to define well in certain moments of the game. He's taking better decisions right now. Of course, we all are happy with him, and let's keep working with him and helping him to reach better level.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Does the result against Newcastle help you as a manager to set the standard, almost use that game as a reference? And the fact that it's happened so early in the season, you can often use that game with the players to to tell them that they're capable of producing that kind of performance?
But I think we know that we are capable. I think it's not recently, and if you look for last season, we showed that we are more than capable to do and to repeat that type of performance. Not surprise me, to be the most honest possible with you, not at all. I think one of the biggest difference from ourselves from the first Premier League season for the last season was the difference in some big games that we really stepped in, and we showed our quality, and we were able to face any team in this league, more in our stadium, of course, when you feel that you are really creating again something special with us and our fans as well. It was a very good first half, I have to say. Second half, with the early goal conceded, not so good, but we are capable to control well the game. But I have to be, again, they are different opponents, I know, but our game against West Ham was at very good level too. It was a game for us to get the 3 points, probably more than one goal. With the chances we got, it didn't give anything, but we switched off 1 second and they punished you. And both games, 2 home games in a row, and very good performance. We should have got 6 points instead of 4, but this is Premier League. The standards that were there, as you said, from the game against Newcastle, but I think just was more or less the same story that against West Ham. The difference probably because Newcastle, they were unbeaten. Newcastle, with that 3 points, if they could get the 3 points, they were on the top of the table. That was the difference between both games. But again, I think we stepped in the game. We showed our quality, and we were capable to win the game and to make the fans proud. That is the most important thing.
The last time you went to the City ground, it didn't go too well in April. Do you think you're stronger this time? Do you feel more confident this time going to the City ground?
It's unfair to compare. I think different games, because if you go, okay, you are going to the last season. If you go 2 seasons ago, we went there and we won clearly the game. Okay, each game is on story. Cannot compare. For sure, the story is going to be different. Let's hope we can write a different one in our favor. That is the main thing for me. Okay, because for sure when we're going to play against Forest at home again, the 5-0 from last season will not have an impact as well. Football is always different. Many things can happen in a football match. Was not the best at all. Was a tough evening for us in that game, but it's going to be a completely different game. I don't want to compare our moment with that moment because it's not fair. Different squads as well, and it's going to be a tough game to play away from home. We really are looking forward for the first win at home. We are going to work really hard to do it. They want the same at home as well, and let's see. Let's hope we can be stronger than them, and we are going to really look for the 3 points.
Thank you.
We're going to step back first, and Rowe, I'll come to you at the end of the broadcast. So, Ruben, I just want to check Ruben and Jack. Do you have anything for the broadcast section?
Yeah.
Ruben.
Hi,
Ruben.
They're without Gibbs White after his sending off last week. Is that a big loss for them?
And it's not my problem, as you know. It's more for Nuno to get his situation done. But I have to be honest, as always. When you have Gibbs White or you don't have Gibbs White, we are different. I have to be honest with you. For sure, Nuno prefers to play with Gibbs White, and if you ask me, I prefer to play with not Gibbs White. It's simple.
You've had some great results at Anfield. They had a great result at Anfield. Does that show how good of a side they are?
No, they are very good side. Of course, you are talking about Gibbs White, but for sure he's going to play another player in that position that is really good too. Let's see what is going to be the player there. He's going to play Anderson, that is a very, very good player as well. Young player, but very good one. And of course, when they have that quality on out wide, with Hudson-Odoi, with Elanga, with Sousa as well, all that players, with the striker in a very good moment as well. They are always a threat and capable to punish any side. Really strong in counter-attack moments that you feel that you have the control of the game. They can punish you as well, and it's going to be a tough game. And I think the way they started the season speaks about themselves.
And just quickly, you touched upon Nuno. He's doing a good job at Forest, isn't he?
Yes. Not surprised, but he's doing a good job since he joined the club, got some good results, allowed them to remain in the league, and the start is being really good.
Thank you.
Jack, do you have anything?
Just one.
Yeah.
Hi Marco.
Hi.
Kenny Tete started the season really strongly. But what would it take for Timothy Castagne to get his chance back in the Premier League? Because last season he was predominantly playing in the first team after Tete's injury, but now Tete is the #1 right back. So what would it take for Castagne to swap places?
It's just the moment. Football is like that. When you want to have a competitive squad, these type of things happen. What a great season for Timothy Castagne last season. What a great one. Joined our football club a little bit later. He was capable to got the position, and from that moment, he had a very good season. One of the most consistent players from ourselves last season, with a very good season. He's a top player, top professional. One of the fantastic examples that we have in our dressing room in terms of work rate, behavior, and every single day ready to work really hard. And Timothy is already a really important player for us. It was last season, he's going to be in the future, 100% sure. Why he's not playing and he's playing Kenny is really competition between them. Kenny had a very good pre-season. From the first moment of the pre-season showed he came in a good shape, very good pre-season games, started the season starting, as you know, Timothy had the Euros to play, came late. And of course it's competition. Probably Timothy deserved to start the season, the Premier League in the 11, but because the performance of Kenny Tete during the pre-season, I decided to start with him, and now it's up to them really to compete. And the player that is going to be in the best moment is going to start the game for sure. And I'm really pleased for Kenny to be playing the way he's been playing. But I'm sure that when the chance comes to Timothy, he's going to be present there and he's going to show his quality again.
Thank you.
Okay,
Hi.
from the BBC. There have been negative headlines every day for a week surrounding Mohamed Al Fayed. I just wonder what impact the scrutiny on the former owner has on this club. And also there was a lot of discussion last weekend from many fans about the chants around Mohamed Al Fayed. I just wonder what your personal thoughts are on those chants and whether they should or shouldn't continue.
About the second one, about the fans, more than everybody, the fans they know really well what they should do, the way they can support the club, and they know better than all of us because they have been fans from this football club from long time, and they know really what is the best for the football club. And about the first part of the question, I don't know if you were here last week or not because you already talked about it, but I'm going to repeat again. Of course, the club put a statement outside that is I think was really important how the club did it so fast. And I'm going to repeat the same that I said. They are really sad news when you hear this type of things. To hear that is really sad for us and for myself as a manager. Of course, all the empathy with that situation, but nothing more to say about it. I think the club said everything, and myself as well.
Is it a distraction for the players or for yourself?
No, because it's not something that is in our control. You know, it's not something that all of us, we are not here. Players, I'm talking about manager and players. Our staff is really the football and to be focused in the football, to be focused in Nottingham. Last week about Newcastle, what we can control, and really what I can control is our daily work with our players, all that stuff. I know that is having an impact in our fans, but as I said before, the fans they know really how they can protect the club, what they can do about our football club.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,